Welcome back to yet another War of the Visions video. Today we're going over to the brand new units Yerma and Nasha. On top of that, we do have a brand new vision card to talk about, which is Ramu, very powerful. And Yerma is going to have a brand new job as Viking. So let's get into it for you guys. We're going over Yerma first. Let's tackle this character. First of all, the limit burst for this character, the Soaring Axe Slash, is a 69 AP, very high costed limit burst here. It does heavy damage to a target, but it has this new effect that we haven't really seen much of yet. Reduces their single attack resistance for 3 turns and increases your own single attack resistance as well. What is single attack resistance? Very simple. If you're getting hit by something that only hits you or hits one player, this is going to mitigate that damage. Or if you're hitting someone after you use this limit burst with a single target attack, it's going to do more damage. So a little bit of a buff for yourself there to be tanky, as well as a big damage on your opponent for anyone else that's doing single target attacks. The TMR here is the Power Sash Belt, which is going to be from Yerma, and it's going to give you 440 HP, as well as a little bit of defense and spirit of 8 defense, 4 spirit. But the ability here is Boiling Blood, which is a skill that you can use one time, and it's going to increase your own attack and your accuracy significantly for 3 turns. So that's really what you're looking for TMRs in this game, is that big active ability. Your stats are going to come from eventually mainly crafted gear, upgraded gear. You're going to really min-max your way in yourself that way. So the Power Slash Belt is actually pretty strong if you want to do some big burst damage, or you don't want to miss some dodgy units in the arena, which you might be looking forward to in the future. Her master ability here is 15% critical damage as well as 10 accuracy. And her stats here are pretty good, just under 2k HP at max level, all jobs maxed out. She is not the fastest character in the game though, at 53 agility. For example, someone like Stern is like 59 fully maxed out. She's at 53, so she does have some pretty high attack and some decent HP. 3 movement, 1 jump, and then general stats all around there for a character. Now moving into her Viking abilities, we have the Chest Breaker. 3 uses, 18 AP, deals small damage to the target and has a chance to mobilize it. It does have 3 range though, as you can see there, so that's pretty nice. If you want to close in on somebody, you have the chance to immobilize them, because remember, she's not the fastest character in the world, and she doesn't have the most move in the world. She doesn't have access to ninja as a sub job either, but she does have Thief, which is going to help her out there. So Chest Breaker is a thing that you can do there. We have Tenacity with a self-attack and defense buff, but it does reduce your evasion. So if you're going for some sort of weird dodge Yerma build, this is a skill that you're not going to want to be using, but most of the time you're not really going to really care about this on a Yerma. Now she does have Viking Mastery, which increases your max HP in attack, but it reduces your AP gain. So this is going to be a very double-edged sword, or should I say double-edged axe thing for Yerma here. It's going to increase your HP, your survivability, your damage, but you're going to get AP slower. It's like the opposite of what something like Gilgamesh does. What is this going to do? It's going to reduce the amount of actions that you can take with your skills. So keep that in mind. It's going to make you hit harder, but you're going to be able to use your powerful skills less, so keep that in mind. She does have a counter of Battle High, which does have a chance to restore HP when receiving damage and apply Self Berserk as well. So if you want to self-heal, Self Berserk, this is going to be a nice reaction command for you. She does have War Cry, which will increase your Brave for self. This, not the greatest thing ever. It's not too hard to get your bravery to 97, kept picking up crystals. So this is going to increase your bravery by a little bit during combat. 3 if you're going into the battle, you're still kept at 100. So if you start at 97, you're using War Cry to get 3 bravery. Not that big of a deal, but when you're leveling her up, you will be able to use this to max out that bravery as fast as possible there. So you can hit that 97. She does have Pavis Protection, which is going to increase her resistance to missile damage. So if you want to close in on a ranger or something, you'll be taking less damage due to this Viking passive if you put that on. She has Full Throttle, which deals moderate damage with a high critical hit rate. This is going to be one of her better skills because of that high critical hit rate. Remember, she does bonus critical hit damage. So if you're going to be using her, you want to increase your crit hit damage. This is going to be something that you can do there. High crit, get some more crit from your gear, and just start critting with full throwing over and over if you want to as you're closing in on a target there. Now she also has Killing Axe, which is heavy damage to the target right in front of her. Very nice, big old swing, as you can see, very nice skill to get in there with the Viking subclass. Now she also has full assault, and this is going to do massive damage to a single target, 37 AP, limited to 2 uses. If you've closed the gap, you want to strike that final blow, right? You've built up a chain or something. Full assault is where you're going to want to be doing your damage there. Now she also has a final skill, which does a very small amount of damage and absorbs some HP there. So it does hit all around her, which is pretty nice, but it's very small damage. It's just an HP absorb thing that you can use there if you want to. Now moving into her knight abilities, she got your typical knight selection of skills. She got your power break, your magic break. She does divine protection as a passive if you're worried about getting debuffed. She has divine healing. She has Sword Guard, which is very nice. Very nice reactive command here to just take less damage. It's probably gonna be one of her better things if you wanted to be like some sort of tanky off-tank character, get into the fray and just have enemies just hit you willy-nilly. Very nice to reduce damage taken in the arena as well. She has Trinity Break here for agility, magic, and attack lowering. Very nice. She has an HP up passive, arm break, and speed break. So she's got all your traditional breaks. If you want her to be a knight for you, you can get in there. You can do that supportive aspect. But she also has access to Thief for more supportive aspects here. Now she does have steel, but she also has steel vision, and that's gonna not really do a whole lot for you there, but she does have the all-important Thief's lore here. This is gonna raise your move by 1 and raise your agility. Absolutely amazing passive here for her. It's going to raise her move from 3 to 4, and it's going to raise her agility, so she's going to be a little bit faster. So this is something that you're going to be using on her a lot, I would say, unless you want to be the all-immovable tank. Basically, just get in there slowly, but you're definitely going to want to have Thief's Lore. That 4 movement in a game like War of the Visions is definitely an irreplaceable sort of thing. Now, she also has Snipe Dagger, which has a chance of confusing, not that big of a deal. But then she has a Sneak Attack as well, so this is going to be a cool skill that you can use on her, which is Sneak Attack. Deals damage large to target with guaranteed critical hit when attacking from behind. So large damage, guaranteed crit. If you put it on some big crazy girl like Yerma with a lot of attack, this is going to do a lot of work for you. She also has Shadow Cast to raise your own evasion rate for 3 turns. So like I was talking about before, you can build like a dodgy Yerma, but remember, she does have some of those other skills and passives that are going to lower your evasion rate, but if you're going for a high evasion rate build, you won't be able to use those. So Shadow Cast is there to help you with an evasion build. She also has AP acquired up, so if you want to get more AP as you attack, this is another passive that you can decide. Remember, this fights right alongside the previous Viking passive that gives you attack and HP but lowers your AP gain. You can also use this to raise your AP gain. You can even equip both of them to have this type of AP up and down mitigate each other, so you get back to like a normal AP gain rate. So another decision for you to make there with Yerma. She also has Quick Action, which has a chance of raising her agility for 1 turn when taking damage. This is kind of cool. I wouldn't use that. I'd rather use the Sword Guard one, but she also has the all-important Steal Time for you guys here, which is going to have the target's CT gauge and raise your own agility for 3 turns. So this is going to be something that is going to be even more useful as we go down the timeline. And as you fight harder and harder and harder and harder bosses, this is something that you can use to cheese out bosses by mitigating how much CT they're gaining compared to the rest of your party. You have haste in your team, you have a thief to steal time, and you have a couple other characters to build up a chain. Yerma can do very well in there, right, where you have Yerma as your thief, and she's a hasted or something, and you keep steal timing until you're out of steal times. Your other damage dealers are doing damage, and then the chain's built up. You've used steal time quite a lot, and you're ready to go. The chain's big, and you pop off her limit burst, or you pop off her big, whatever her biggest damage dealing hit skill is. You can do that with her to finish that chain, get up to like chain 10, something crazy, and then have her drop the final hit for a bunch of massive damage. Now, as far as resistances go on Yerma, she's kind of weak here to a lot of stuff. She's 25% weak to magic and 10% weak to piercing. She's neutral to slashing and neutral to striking, but she's also 10% resistant to missile. So that's a thing that you could, I wish they'd rename missile, by the way, to like projectile or something, but missile. So she also has that missile resistance passive. There's a lot of cool things you can do with her. She's 10% weak to ice, but resists earth by 20%. A lot of cool stuff for you to figure out what you want to do with Yerma. You can build her a tanky bruiser. You can build her like support thief. You can build her support knight, or you can just build her big damage Viking. That's gonna be Yerma. She's pretty cool. Whether or not you guys should pull for her, if you want, she's good for sure. You guys might be kind of strapped for resources right now, saving up for a bunch of future banners, and I think that's where a lot of people are, just saving resources up, because characters in this game are a high investment. If you have this stuff to throw out there, you want a big tanky bruiser character to do a bunch of stuff. Wind isn't really an element that's being fought over by a lot, right? Maybe only if you have like Ayaka right now will you be using wind, but there will be a wind gunner sometime down the line if you're slowly accruing resources for that character. So you're a very strong character, very unique character as well. The Viking class, pretty cool, big berserk coming out doing big damage, and her sub jobs allow her some nice supportive aspects for your team. Now the next one we're going over is Nasha, who's going to be an MR character on the banner. She's going to be a Paladin, White Mage, and Dragoon, so an interesting combination. She's a fairly strong MR character, and her sprite does look pretty nice here. Now her TMR is the Bjork Sword. The Bjork Sword's pretty general TMR. It's got 12 accuracy on it, 68 HP, and 104 attack. That's it. It's got a mobilize on hit, which I mean, maybe that's going to be useful somewhere to somebody, but really not the craziest TMR in the world. All things said and done. Does have some nice accuracy on it, though. I think that's the main takeaway from that TMR. Now, as far as Nasha goes, the mastery ability for her is 25% max HP with her mastery ability. Very nice. Her stats here, she does have 2.2k base HP, 168 attack, 45 agility, so not the fastest in the world, but that's because she's a mainstay tank paladin. Very slow, 3 move, 1 jump, and nothing super crazy as far as the rest of her stats go there. Moving into her stats on the board, she does actually have a 6 defense, which is pretty nice, and 15% more HP. So that's going to help her out a lot there as far as the defense goes. She does have a little bit of that. No spirit, though, as we can see here. Now, Paladin command, she does have your general Blade Bash, Saintly Healing, Saint Cross, which is going to be a damage skill around herself, AoE, which is very nice there. She also has Immortal Spirit, which we've seen before, as well as Saint Wall. So she's got the general survivability skills, she's got Blade Bash for the stun, and she does have a way to do some damage AoE around herself, but remind yourselves, guys, she's a paladin, she doesn't have the highest attack in the game, so she's not going to be running around cleaving down all targets right around her, okay? Now, her other stuff that she does have is Paladin Subcommand, so these are the skills that you're going to have to learn and equip. The first ones we talked about, Blade Bash through Saint Wall, she will always have them regardless of what you set her as. These Paladin commands, you have to have her set as Paladin if they're active skills. So she does have Holy Knight's Protection, which is a very nice passive, HP and defense increase. Sentinel increases your defense and spirit. We've seen this before, lowers your evasion. You've probably seen this being spanned by Idlebar all across the map, every game in Arena. She does have Paladin Guard, which allows you to block physical damage taken. She has got the big taunting blade, so she can do that, taunt, and become a real tank later on in the fight after you have worn out your enmity from your, hopefully, your card that you have equipped, your vision card, Oath of Love, Vow of Love. And she also has Divine Grace, which raises the max HP of all allies around herself for 3 turns and recovers that amount of HP. So she's got your traditional Paladin stuff. She's not missing out on anything. She doesn't really have access to Sword Guard, but she does have Paladin Guard there. So she can't block magic damage, but she can block physical attack damage. And Paladin Guard has a higher successful proc rate. 45%, I do believe it is, at max level, compared to Sword Guard's 30%. But Paladin Guard only blocks physical damage there. Now, White Mage reaction commands here in normal commands. So her White Mage stuff, she does have Nullified Doom. She has Asuna, Cure, Shell, Regenerator, so she can counter with a regen on herself. Raise, Regen, Protect, Cure, and Cura. So nothing super crazy, you know, no full life running around, no, you know, Curaga, anything of that nature. But she does have the ability for you to use her as a sort of off healer when she's not tanking on her mainstay Paladin skills, if this is something that you're interested in. Now, she also has Dragoon here, which is going to give her jump, Dragon's Kin, Dragon Standard, jump +1, horizontal jump, Dragon's Roar, Dragon's Blade, and HP up here. So nothing super crazy here. She does have the HP up passive to go with the Paladin passive that has defense and HP, so that's a big plus there. She also does have Dragon's Roar, which has the chance of lowering bravery of targets within range. We haven't really used this a lot, but remember, bravery for you not only increases your chance of your reaction commands, but also has a direct correlation with how much physical damage that you do. So if you are running across, right, a boss in War of the Visions eventually, or some enemies that you need to tank and they do a bunch of physical damage. You can actually use Dragon's Roar to lower their bravery, which is going to give them a damage loss on all of their physical attacks. So that could be something that you use on her when doing different fights. Now she also has Dragon Standard on Dragoon, which is going to give her move and jump +1 for 3 turns. So if you need her to get across the map quicker for the next couple of turns, that is also something that you can use her for. So Dragoon's not a dead subclass for her in any way, shape, or form. It could be useful in some niche circumstances. For resistances, she has resistance to slash, she has resistance to piercing, she has resistance to striking, and a bullet as well. Bullet. I just hate missile. Missile sounds so dumb, but missile in piercing here, 5% resistance, striking and slash 15% resist. But like every other tank in the game so far, 20% weak to magic damage. She does have 15% fire weakness, but she also resists wind by 15% there. So pretty strong character. If you don't have access to a tank of any kind, then you know, this character could be up there for you as far as a character that you'd be interested in using. This is Nasha, a very cool character, very interesting. She's not game breaking, but she's going to be an MR. Now the thing about her being an MR tank, you guys already have Mont. So Mont, he's already there. He's easier to max out, easier to hit 99 on, and I would suggest that you guys go for Mont before you even think about Nasha. If you're looking for a second tank later on, that's an MR. That would be when I think about this character here. And the final thing to talk about obviously here is Ramu, the Esper, the big summon. Ramu is going to be a very strong Esper, as well as a very strong card for magic based teams. So, and this card actually gives you magic the stat up to 50% at max level, and this will stack with the UR card Trosu, which gives magic attack ability up, which is a different sort of thing. These do stack together, so if you are using a big damage dealing mage or any other such character, this is going to be a big card for you to get your hands on if you're looking to maximize the amount of damage that your mages do. If you want to see more stuff for War of the Visions, go ahead, hit that subscription button, turn the notification bell on, comment down below if you're going for these 3 characters. If you haven't seen the previous content on the channel, you don't want to be missing out on that as well. So go ahead, click my name down there, click on videos. You'll be seeing a lot of cool War of the Visions stuff, playlists for all of the WotV videos as well, guys. So thank you so much for the support. It really helps the channel out if you interact. I love interacting with you guys anyway, so it's a win-win-win for everyone involved. You get to talk, I get to talk, YouTube gets to not hate the channel. It's a fun time out there. Until then though, guys, I'll see you in the next video.